been a while.
Welcome. We're back. Welcome to the Secrets Chronicles, Paranormal Historians, where the history meets the paranormal. We're back. Sorry about last week. We had some issues and we had to cancel the show, and that's the first time in 2 years, and we hate it, but
We hated
we
it.
miss you guys. We're back. So we're back to see you all. So, hello, Melissa. I just want to.
Hi, guys.
Jenny finally got to meet Melissa.
I did. So
ahead,
that's
tell
what I
the
did. I
story
went to
about
Kansas
Australia.
City. Yeah, that's where I was. I went to Kansas City and I got to meet the lovely, wonderful Melissa Blackman in person.
Look at her.
Look at us.
Hey, we got a face to the name now. Welcome.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I like the earrings. The lightning bolts.
Love
That's
it.
what.
She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
Like those earrings.
Really.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
she's
earrings
wonderful.
for like electricians. That's what we use as the lightning bolts over here in New York.
She's so cool. She's so cool. And we met for coffee for like, I don't know, 2 hours or hour, and it just went like that.
Yeah, I wanted to show Melissa right away because I know she has guests and she's not gonna be here very long tonight.
Well, she's moving. She's pretty busy.
Jenny,
Hi, Adam.
it's funny. You go to Kansas City and you go see a game or where you go, and
I went to a World Cup game.
There's always a camera following you. What's this?
I'm gonna kill
There's
you.
always a camera. I mean, doesn't matter. You're in the dark, in the most haunted locations, in night vision, or on the street somewhere.
Yep.
They find you.
I was on the news. Yep.
Always a camera.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I'm glad you got to meet her. I think that's awesome.
It's really cool to meet somebody in the chat that you're friends with through the chat, Yeah,
it's awesome. It's really cool.
Who's such a faithful viewer of ours as well. So we're so grateful. It's episode 90, everybody. Episode 90.
This would have been 91 if we didn't cancel last week.
I know. You haven't killed me yet. It's all good.
No. So we're here, and it's going to be a good show tonight.
It's going to be a great show.
I just want to tell you, last time I was on the show, my brother was the guest, and my brother and I had a whole chat and everything, and we talked about different things that happened at the house and all the different locations. My brother was one of the first guys that actually started going out with me on investigations. So we started talking about all these different things and playing EVPs and stuff. And the next day, he goes down the basement. He goes down the basement when he was talking. His computers, both of them were smashed. One computer was tossed off the shelf into the other computer.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the house that we grew up in, and it was crazy because we grew up. It's activity there. We always had activity. So
what did you have? What kind of activity? Not computers getting smashed.
Things flew around. Things. Oh yeah. I mean, you see people in the windows. You see all kinds of stuff. Cats. We have a cat. And it's weird because a lot of times when my mom passed, a lot of things disappeared. So I don't know if it was attached to her or what, but there's still stuff happening there, and it was crazy. And my brother, because nobody's in that room, nobody goes. It was there at all, and the computer was at a distance. One computer was up on the shelf on over here, and the other one's over here, and that one's flew into the other one and smashed him on the ground.
Gosh.
He got to get one fixed, but the other one he can't. One's I think a Mac or something like that. And so it's crazy. So
I mean, I would never believe that kind of thing until I saw it, in an antique store that we investigated. When Kim, our co-host, who still is with us, everybody remember in the summer she's with her horses. For people just joining who don't know that, Kim takes care of the horses at the racetrack in the summer, so she'll be back. Kim got hit with a roll of paper towels off a shelf. It just went sideways and smacked her. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. I've been in many investigations where things were flung across the
usually at you.
Usually at me, And it's like I'm a big target and always misses me.
You are. I'm telling you, I've seen rocks thrown at you.
I got all kinds of stuff happening to me.
Usually it's me. No, I'm kidding.
So, I also, before we bring the guest in, I just want to show you our friend Mark.
Yes, please.
Mark
DiNardo.
A guest a couple of weeks ago, and he's actually he designs computers to do investigations, and he said he was on some kind of verge of making a computer more, like speaks and everything like that, and it's great. And I just want to show you. He just gave us a small clip. I just want to show you. This is awesome. Yeah, it's a robot. He has a name for it. I don't know what it is, but here we go.
It's so cool.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Paige. Systems online. Let's see what's here.
The thing talks.
Paige.
His name is Paige. That is awesome. I think that's a piece of equipment that might be going somewhere. And it's good. And he's not a kind of guy that does it for the money. He does it for the research and just to do it. And
which we love. We love that.
We've seen his last robot, and that was pretty interesting how the thing walked around and how it was like unbelievable how it was. And now this is going to be cool. So I think we have enough talking involved here now.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we should introduce our guest. He's singing the back, saying to us himself, like, these people ever shut up?
We don't.
So,
we don't.
But I think it's time.
We will bring in the guest. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do my job and introduce him. So tonight, I'm really excited for this guest because I haven't met him yet. And he's out in Chicago joining us. His name is Neil Gibbons, and he's the owner and CEO and the tour guide operator of Graveside Paranormal. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's nice meeting you guys.
Thanks for being here.
Too. Yeah, this is the first time we're actually meeting. This is one of the guests I never met before, and you never met. So this is tonight. It's awesome.
That's great. I was really looking forward to this, Neil. Really cool.
It's a beginning. It's a beginning.
It is. We always say we start the show, we meet somebody, and by the end of the show, they're friends.
Oh yeah.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
So I know Jenny's always full of questions. You want to hit your question first?
Because I always have like a list. I'm one of those.
Ask away anything you want.
But this is thanks for being our episode 90 guest too. 90. That's pretty
90. Cool. You made the 90 mark for us.
You win a prize. No. So, like every podcast, I know you got to go through it, but introduce yourself to people. Please let us know how you got involved in this crazy field of ours.
Oh, how I got into the crazy field. Well, my name's Neil.
I know it's the standard question, but we have to start with it to go.
You have to have everybody's origin, and that's why I'm a storyteller. So I always like knowing everybody's origin story. Yes. So my name is Neil Gibbons. I'm the owner of Graveside Paranormal. I've been doing ghost tours throughout Chicago for the last 11 years. Prior to that, I worked for the Sheriff's Department for 30 years. I dealt with psych criminals for 22 of those years. Wow. How I got into the paranormal. I'll get into the part of the tour real quick. How I got into doing the tours is a lot of people who are on law enforcement and stuff like that. We sit around and we just talk. Because when things are going on. When they're not, we have a lot of downtime and we talk, right? So I always would tell people ghost stories. I would tell them the history of Chicago. And one girl one day, she said, Neil, you should start your own ghost tours. And I said, So it actually started as just like some fun thing. I rented an old prison bus. And I took all my buddies out on this prison bus and I told them all the stories and everybody was drinking, having a good time. And that's how it turned into what it is now. But how I got into the paranormal is so many years ago, I grew up on the south side of Chicago. My mom and dad were going through a horrible divorce. This isn't a boo-hoo-hoo story. This is more of a boo story.
Okay.
What happened is my mom and dad were going through this horrible divorce. And my mom, every night between the 2 and 3 o'clock hour, she would wake up in the middle of the night and start screaming at the top of her lungs.
Oh.
And we were all little kids, anywhere ranging between 6 to 7 years of age, 6 to 7, 8. And I would go inside there with my two brothers and we'd wake her up, and she had no idea that this was going on whatsoever.
Oh, no.
So then one night, because it started to become like clockwork, I just happened to wake up around that time. And I saw, looking over into the hallway area, this small impish looking creature. And it was staring at me and smiling. And then it looked inside my mother's room and then started smiling and looking back at me, and then proceeded to go in my mother's room. Or therein after that, she started screaming. And me being a kid, like any other kid, what are you going to do? You're going to put your blankets over your head, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be like this, oh my God, what the holy heck is going on?
Yeah.
So it took me some time to figure out what was going on. I started reading books and listening to certain things. It just seemed to happen that way. And I don't know why the interest was there. It's just, the interest was, it just happened. I always tell people it's not that you're going looking for a supernatural or the paranormal. It's sometimes just looking for you. And that's how a lot of people's origin stories really, truly begin. So that's how mine began. And I started looking into it as I got older, and I started noticing that usually what they are is they're imps. And they usually come in threes. And I tell people that demons do exist, but not in the forms that a lot of people believe. Not like the thing of like Hollywood and Exorcist and Conjuring, which I enjoy. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy every one of those movies. I'll watch it, and I love watching and get excited about those movies. But the thing is it's when we let our defenses down in life, either through drugs, alcohol, or depression, or any kind of mental disability, we open up this little doorway. And slowly what it is this doorway starts to open up just a little bit, and this negativity starts to come into our lives. And the more and more we progress, and it's usually the family members figure this out, that something's going wrong with this person. It's never the person who is going through this turmoil in their life. Either it's an attachment, and I don't really say possession, but I think it's more of an attachment, where you're starting to get this attachment of this negativity in your life. And the more and more you progress in it, the harder and harder that door gets heavier and heavier and bigger and becomes so hard it's very hard to close. Mm-hmm. And until you find that help in your life, figuring that out, a lot of these things will exist and continue on. And I believe that's what happened with my mom until a certain point in her life. So like I said to you before, I'm open and honest about everything I talk about. The reason why is because there are a lot of people out there who do have problems. And either it is a true mental illness,
right,
or there is a fine line between mental illness and people can say, nah, Neil, no. But I believe there is a fine line between mental illness and possession or attachment. Mm-hmm. I've actually, in the professional life I've had, I've actually come across certain things that you just go, somebody else is driving other than this person here. And as we go along, I can be more than happy to tell you that story as we go along.
Wow. You are the second police officer to say that exact sentence to us.
Yeah.
That you have seen people where somebody else was driving. We recently had Chris Mendes on, right? And he was saying that he encountered someone. And that was the first time he ever felt like it's possible that someone's really been taken over by something.
Oh, yeah. It's very possible. It is so very possible. It's like I said, when we let our defenses down, take, for instance, jails, prisons, institutions. What are they? They're negativity, right? People come in there because of some negative thing that happened in their lives. The people who are working there usually sometimes come in there with positivity, but walk out with negativity because it's a breeding ground for a lot of this negativity. And these things happen. And I actually came across a young man many years ago who, when I was working inside the jail at the Cook County Jail, located in Chicago, Illinois, the psych nurse and psych workers, they told me, hey, Gibby, my nickname was Gibby, okay? We all have nicknames, all right? Mine because Gibbons is Gibby, okay? So I said, Gibby, I need you to go downstairs there and go pick up this guy downstairs. And he was a big boy. This was a big kid. and he was about maybe 25 years of age. And this young man, he was down there. And for me, the smell of something where like something's attached to somebody, for me, is the smell of a burnt rubber tire. And so as I approached him, I could smell that right away, because it's not the first time I've come across something like that. And that smell of that burnt rubber tire, I'm like, there's something going on with this kid here. So, but I also saw that he was very slow-witted. And so I just started talking. I said, hey, buddy, you want to go to bed? He goes, yeah, I just want to go to bed. I said, I'll take you upstairs. I'll put you to bed. He goes, thank you very much. I go, hey, buddy. I go, who's your favorite superhero? He goes, mine's Spider-Man. I go, hey, mine's Batman. And so you have to keep that rapport with somebody. That way we're staying on the same wavelength. We don't want somebody to, as we would call, get out of the box. So we want to keep everybody nice and tight inside that box, whereas we're all having that good form of communication. So I take him up the elevator, and the moment that I open up the doors, the nurse yells out to me. She goes, Gibby, just put him in there. Put him in there. And I said, all right, no problem, no problem. So I started to put him in there, and he puts his hand on my shoulder, and he goes, we like you. And I said, oh, I like you too. I really do. And so we placed him inside the cell, but that's not where our story ends. Some weeks later, and I wasn't on the unit at the time, an officer went over to his cell, and he noticed that in the report, I'm going to go verbatim of report, that there was nothing but the whites of his eyes. And that is in the report from the officer. And I was not there that day. He said he got distracted by another inmate down the hallway. He went to go see what was coming back. And when he came back, this young man was dead, laying on the floor with a foot in the toilet. Now, keep in mind.
No.
Yeah. Keep in mind, this is a single cell. When someone is like this, they are not allowed to be placed in any other kind of general population unit.
Mm-hmm.
They are in a single cell. And this kid told him, someone's going to kill me tonight. And so when the officer came back, he saw that the foot was in the toilet, and that's verbatim per the report. And he was laying there dead. Of course, everybody's called, all these investigators, everybody's called. And they come out there and they secure the scene. And some time went by. And I was actually able to talk to a guy I know, because they did an autopsy on this young man. And they did notice that there was bruising all over his body, on his shoulders, around the stomach, and the chest, and stuff like that, right? So what are they going to do? They're going to review the films. Make sure nobody whooped them, right?
Yeah.
No kind of action happened to this young man. Any officer would be an idiot. You would lose your job and you'd go to jail. I mean, unless you're just a piece of crap, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So they saw that. And when we have like a possession, and I use the word possession or attachment, you have that internal battle that's going on inside the body. We've all heard about this, right? Mm-hmm. So when they did the autopsy, they said that he just like died of exhaustion, and he had all these bruises all over his body. And that's still not the end of our day. So about 2 or 3 weeks later, the room is being utilized again for a thing called FLRs, full leather restraints. They grab a guy who is being brought up because he's suicidal. And they take him up there and they put him down in FLRs. He has a single cell. He then starts at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I was working the unit at night. Starts screaming at the top of his lung, "Get this such and such out of here. He's in here." And we go inside the same cell where that young man died, where now this young man is tied down to a bed. He's swearing that there is a guy at the end of the bed. He gives a full physical description of our first young man is rubbing his toes. He says, he goes, such and such is rubbing my toes at the end of this thing. And they gave him the full physical thing. When me and the nurse exited out of the cell, the book bags started flying off the shelving areas. And my lieutenant was watching all this on the computer. I mean, on the cameras.
Yeah.
And he called me, he goes, "Gibby, what in the holy heck is going on down there?" And I told him, I said, "You remember that young man?" I go, that happened a couple weeks ago. I said, "I told you there's something wrong with that boy." And he said, he goes, "That is crazy." But that's actually a true story. That one picture that I sent to you where it looks like there's a shadow person in the center, that's actually from our original psych ward of a shadow person.
See if I figured that one out.
Institutions and jails and prisons are huge for shadow people. They are huge. That one
Really?
right there.
Oh, my
That's,
goodness.
I was looking at that. You can see the feet, and you can see like
There
a
it is.
torso.
Yep. We used to see that one on a thing called Charlie 4. And it would, I'm sure you guys have seen shadow people before doing your investigations.
Yes.
Have
Yeah.
you ever really thought about that majority of the time when you see them, that they're moving majority of the time left to right? Because every time when I saw these guys inside the jails, or even where I'm on our tours, they're always moving left to right. You rarely ever see them moving forward or back. And I have no idea why. And I always ask this question to people to reflect upon it, to ask them, do you guys remember always that they always were moving left to right?
Left to
But
right.
this was inside the jail at the time. What happened, how we got this photo, is when buildings are closed, the supervisor has to go through and take random pictures to make sure everything's okay. And so she took that and then she sent that to me and she said, what the holy heck is that? And I told her that's a shadow person that we used to see inside the jail.
That's incredibly solid.
You can see the feet, feet, and they're actually the step. That's interesting. Wow. That's pretty cool.
Ron makes a good point. A lot of the times you don't see the feet, on a shadow figure. So that's pretty interesting.
I've seen it.
And when you go to see some of the other photos, you're going to see feet as well inside of some of these other photos.
That's so complete, so heavy. My goodness.
I'm also I don't know if you've seen that I'm also a spiritual sketch artist, and I've seen plenty of shadows, and I drew plenty of shadows. And that piece of evidence you have there pretty good. I like that.
This is a Mary Beth's adding to your question, and that she said she's seen them move from right to left, but not forward or backward. And I haven't seen forward or backward either, actually, now that I think of it. It's a good point.
For whatever reason, because I try to make sure that I pay attention to things. Like I tell everybody, there's no such thing as experts in this field. There's only good researchers who pay attention to a lot of different hauntings. Like anybody can say anything they want about paranormal, supernatural. Anybody can randomly say anything. But a real person who's really doing it is a good researcher, not a bullshitter.
No.
Right?
Yeah, right. We're right there. And I have seen them come towards me. So that's I have seen them come towards me, and I have seen them in rooms and everything. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I have so many drawings of shadows that I've seen in the past. I've been doing a long, I'm doing a long time. So when you do a long time like you get to see a lot of different things.
When you're old like us. Yeah. I mean, maybe sometimes you see them psychically though, too. Like I've never on a video seen them move forward, but I've definitely seen them move. I can't remember left. I'm going to have to go check my old videos now to see left to right. Well,
we got to notice when we go to locations.
Yeah.
Because I see shadows all the time from trees, whatever, in the woods and stuff. Then the one place I seen the most shadows was at the Conjuring House. The actual Conjuring House, and in the woods there. Yeah,
outside. I was going to say outside.
More in the woods, wooded area. You see them going from tree to tree. So,
one of your, I was just noticing one of your questions from Tara, something about the spectrum of the light.
Yeah.
And I was noticing that, and she brings up a very good question. So I wonder if they're only visible in a certain spectrum of light. Okay. From doing this, I believe how shadow people become shadow people, they could be originally translucent, and I believe environment plays a big factor in this. I think when the environment changes, they take on a different, darker look. They could be that same translucent figure, but when certain elements in the air, maybe a storm, maybe winter, I don't know, or it could be dimensional. Where like something is going through something dimensionally at that time. Are they forming and then becoming translucent later? I don't know. But I do believe that, just so you know, Tara, this is my opinion, is that I think it has to do with environment. I think when environment changes, also does the spectrum light.
Of course. I mean, that makes sense. Like the humidity changes, you have droplets of water in the air, things are, I think.
Yeah, I'm all for that with electrical charges and stuff like that. So it helps them form. But I mean, if you've seen shadow people too, I've seen them in the most darkest locations.
Yeah.
And they always seem to be darker than the darkest, and you can still see them move.
Yeah.
And there's no spectrum of any sort of light there. It's just
right.
pitch black, and you can still see them move in the darkness. So,
True.
you know, so it's no spectrum of light there. But I mean, I'm no, like you said, none of us are experts at this.
No.
I'm just telling you experiences.
Yep.
You know,
we're all just here searching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting. You know,
it's an amazing
that's
photo.
A cool picture. You know, but so
I love that theory.
So I mean, I notice, and I have plenty of what do you call it? Officers, police or feds,
Yeah,
or
so many.
that's in this field. I come across tons of them, and they all got these stories about, you know, stuff that they've seen on, you know, in locations when they have to go in and do things. And
oh yeah, I mean, you come across these things that you're just like, this is totally odd. But all right, so anybody who's like in emergency services, like I grew up, I started the sheriff's department when I was 22 years old, right? And I grew up listening in the jail to Art Bell. So, and I love listening to Coast AM every night, 4 hours every night. And I would listen to all these deep stories, and then I would read the books and this and that. And I'd watch all these shows like Sightings, and I really enjoyed early times, you know, when I was younger. And a lot of my learning actually came from great people like Art Bell. It really was the special guest that he came on there. You go out and you go experiment something that this person said, hey, try this, you know? So it was always good. So I always try to give a little bit of a nod to Art Bell.
Yeah. So he's a legend. So everybody that's in the field knows him or about him or listen to him, you know, and he is a legend in our field. You know, that's great. You know, so you're a sheriff's department. Will you ever, you know, when you're on a call or anything, have you experienced anything on any of the calls?
Majority of my time was inside the Cook County Jail.
Okay.
That's what I did. And I dealt the psych unit. And the psych unit I came across, I'm going to be honest with you. And once again, this is Neil's opinion.
Okay.
Evil is very real. And that's why a lot of things that I do, because I went through this in life, ignorant as a young guy, didn't understand certain things, and I'm honest about it, is that I didn't understand human nature.
Right.
And how some people truly are and how they become. And these things are very real, and they are out there. I believe that there's majority more positivity in the world. Yes. And I am a big believer in faith. A lot of things that, if you check out my archives on things, a lot of my speaking events that I talk about is based off of faith. The reason why is because I follow God, I follow Jesus Christ, and I'm not a Bible toter, no. But what I am is someone who made a promise. If I can help somebody, I'm going to help that person. So I make an effort doing what I do to not only just go on tours and this and that, but there's always that one individual that needs a little bit of help. And you'll notice it, like I'm empathic, right? So what I do is I hear voices out of my left ear, and I get people's impressions, and people come to me in dreams and a couple other ways. Sometimes I really don't even know what I do. And we've had it many times where this has happened right off the bat. Because of being in law enforcement, you're going to get so in tuned to people more. If you're already an empath and you're working as a nurse, a doctor, or anything in emergency services, and if you're an empath right off the bat, your strength is going to grow so bad where you're going to start taking on emotions of things that are not your emotions. And I tell people this when you're going into haunted areas. If you're an empathic person and all of a sudden you have this emotion of jealousy as you leave, that's not you. It's someone else's characteristic. And when their characteristics are trying to form inside of you, you have to recognize that. And the moment that you're able to recognize something like that, then you take your time and do what you do to try to get rid of that thing inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people,
Awareness.
they gain that empathy.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
how do you, I mean, at some point when you're doing your job, do you need to shut that off? And how do you?
So I'm retired, which is good. I've been retired for about 2.5 years.
Congratulations. Very
Thank you.
nice.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize what it was at first, like I really didn't. I'd go into certain places and you already know that they're very angry without even talking to them, or you can feel that there's something just ain't right with them.
Mhm.
And like I said, I've come across a lot of individuals who are just evil people. I've come across, understand though, a lot of people are locked up. It's because we all make mistakes in life. Okay. So I'm not going to say that everybody who's put in a jail or something like that, we are all someone who can make mistakes in life. Okay.
Mhm.
Some are just a little bit of a higher level, of the mistakes that they've made. And, some of these people, it's just the way that their nature is. Some people are just born evil.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I remember there was a guy by the name of Father Malachi Martin. Do you ever hear of Father Malachi Martin? He was the leading exorcist in the Catholic Church. And he went to New York City. I remember listening to him many years ago on the Art Bell Show. And I started reading his books. And he talked about how he believes that the hub of hell is the subway in New York.
What?
And I swear to God, this is what this dude said.
I believe it. I worked those subways many a times.
I know, me too.
And
I worked them.
he was
You may be onto something.
yeah, he was the leading exorcist for the Catholic Church. And he talked about it. Go down to the subway system and walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, God bless you." Watch majority of those people that are down there are going to start MFing you. He said,
Really?
he goes, you'd be surprised. He said, the hub of hell is the subway of New York.
Yeah,
I don't mean to knock
Why?
in New York, Anthony, but that's what he said.
I'm in Queens right here. I'm just, I just
Yeah.
take the subway to work
Okay.
all the time. And I believe that, not just what I seen on there as human, what human does to human down there, or just, homeless and just stuff that goes on down there.
Despair.
I worked down there. I was on the tracks for months and months at a time. And people live down there. And I was in one case, we were on the tracks and somebody found a body on the tracks, and the MTA police came, and all of a sudden the body disappears.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a lot of stuff that goes on down there that's really, really, and I believe that what you're saying, because you see what goes on. I used to take the train for 30 years, so I've seen a lot of stuff down there, and I believe it. And not just human, I've seen spirits. Since I'm sensitive, I have pictures. I mean, on the train, driving early in the morning by myself in the train, see somebody on the side, and we get to a stop, and they're not there no more. It's like, wait a minute, there was somebody just there, and then all of a sudden the doors open up and they're gone. They're already, they vanished on me.
Yeah.
That's so
And
funny.
Wall Street, oh my goodness, Wall Street, this station there, so much. You could be sitting there, somebody be whispering in your ear, and there's nobody around you.
Oh, I believe it. I mean, the way that Father Malachi Martin talked about it and how distinctive he was about the whole thing was it was just mesmerizing. It was just mesmerizing how he spoke.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna date myself here, but remember that movie Ghost? It reminds me of the ghost on the subway that screams,
that?
"Get out of my car!"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's the screaming
Get out of
ghost.
the car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, thank goodness you know what I mean. Otherwise, you'd be like, "What?" Right?
Like I said, I love all the movies. So
yeah. Well, it's like Ghostbusters. They drill the holes in the city, and they stick it down that goose dripping around down there.
Yeah, there you go.
Subway. So yeah. There's a lot of abandoned stations down there. There's so much bad stuff that happens down there, from crimes to people living there
and killing themselves as well. Unfortunately,
There's a whole community of people living down there.
Oh yeah.
It really is underground people in the city. So yeah, I believe that. So I didn't mean to take over your subject.
Yeah, we took it
Like I
over.
said,
Sorry.
When you talk about
No,
New
but
York, it just rings things to me. Yeah.
so Father, say it again, Malachi.
Father Malachi Martin.
Okay. And
Look
so
him
where
up.
did we start with the story about Father Malachi? Oh, you
Oh,
just
I,
that he
oh
was Satan.
You talk about the city.
we were talking about
Somebody.
just evil. We were just
Yeah,
talking
right.
about
Okay,
evil.
so
Yeah. But
he's somebody that you respect.
oh yeah, I like my mom. So this is gonna sound weird. My mom was actually a nun. My dad was a brother. Of course, they met after the fact when they both left. It was the 1940s, and the mentality in the Irish community was either you're a teacher, a nun, a priest, a cop, or a fireman, or something like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
It was just the way that they grew up, and so I grew up on a Catholic system. And
So
actually, I have an uncle who's a priest. But yeah, there's a lot of that evil that is going around, and I do think it is getting stronger, and it's just something that's manipulating a lot of people, and they don't realize it. But that's my opinion.
No, I agree with you. We have a question for you. It's off the subject though. If you want to keep talking about that, that's fine.
Oh no, ask any questions.
Okay. With Chicago's mafia history, I bet there are a lot of haunted places. Do you have any experience with that type of haunting?
So let's talk Chicago, okay?
Yeah.
Chicago. Hey, the
Hey.
Valentine's Day Massacre. I always
There
went
we
over
go.
to investigate there. Hey.
So the Valentine's Massacre, right? So that place there, what it is now, the building's been knocked down. All it is like a little yard that's in the background. And that's where they had the shooting on February 14th. What year was that actually? Because I don't do that part. But they killed all those people down there, and because it's a residual haunting, majority of all Chicago is residual haunting. So let's talk about the Great Chicago Fire,
Right. That came
1871,
up too.
October 8th through the 10th. When traumatic and dramatic things happen in timelines, they hold on a second. I think can you still see me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's my computer that's showing me something else. I'm sorry.
Take your time.
So
Take your time.
no, I'm sorry. So when traumatic and dramatic things happen in timelines, they leave an impression in that timeline, right? And that's why we get all our residual hauntings. And because of the trauma that was going out there, a lot of the Chicagoland is haunted because of that. So it has a lot of residuals. Same thing with the gangsters of 1920s, the Al Capone era. That was such a strong timeline of just killing and mass killings, like the same Valentine's Day massacre. It leaves an impression in that area. We have in the Chicagoland area ley lines that are up and down a thing called Archer Avenue, and I believe also in a couple other areas as well. So we have these things that are going on, and it's causing the supernatural activity to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying everything's residual, but when these ley lines are activated, and once again, I go back to environment. Think of it as like a faucet, okay? When a ley line is out there and it's on a certain area, it will, hold on. Oh my God. Can you see me okay?
Yeah, perfectly.
I can see you.
Oh my God, I'm just gonna let it go. So what happens is that they'll have that out there, and the faucet, if you turn on a faucet a little bit, a dribble of water will come out, right? When the environment is just right, now the faucet's opening up more, where like now we have all this supernatural activity that's happening. And I think that's a change of environment. So when these ley lines are activated, that's why we start seeing all these old gangster type vehicles coming up and down the streets in the Chicagoland area, because of the trauma that was going out in that area at that time.
Yeah.
So it has to be very good timing that is going on.
So you're saying
Well,
that the ley lines
are like a track. Ley lines are like a track that connects. I mean, the haunting could be here, but they could follow the ley lines to the next location, or since there's a ley line there, they all can connect along the line.
Right.
That's how ley lines are, you know?
And some are connected and some are not. Some are singular. With this one area is, I believe it's a singular ley line. And a lot of the Native Americans are the ones who realized that a lot of these ley lines were out there, and they taught the people who came into the United States as we know it, and they taught them about supernatural ley lines. And that's how we came to know about supernatural ley lines, right?
Yes.
But it was actually the Native Americans who knew all this stuff that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I really do believe that it has to deal with the environment. Like the one video that I sent you, okay? There's a place called Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. It's the most haunted cemetery in America.
I'll play that next.
And it's only about 20 minutes away from where I live, 15, 20 minutes away from where I live. It's 1 acre cemetery that was made in the 1800s. And I believe that a lot of Native Americans, I believe that there's ley lines that lay out there. And I believe that what is going on there is a form of possession, but instead of a human host, what it is, it's the land that's being possessed. So let's talk about, we started an infestation. In the 1950s and 60s, people started noticing blue orbs of light bouncing around inside the cemetery area. So what's that going to do? That's going to attract people, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So all of a sudden, you get all these people who are getting attracted into it. You're going to come across 2 or 3 people who are going to be up to malevolent activity, bad behavior. Yeah. And they'll come in there and they'll try to make that deal with the devil or do whatever they can, try to open up things, these portals, not knowing what they're doing and not knowing how to close certain things. And not that I do, because I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But the thing is that when you start doing that in an area that, number one, is Native American and is a resting place for a community, you are going to run into some problems. So instead of a human host, it's the land, like I said. So we have this infestation of these people going out there trying to open it up. So think of it as like termites to a tree. These termites are going out there and they're all surrounding the tree and they're climbing up and they're going through and they're eating away and they're eating away, right? Then it all of a sudden goes through an oppression. That oppression by these people constantly opening up and trying to conjure up whatever the holy heck they can, they start to break down the land. And what's happening to our tree? It's starting to break down, starting to wither. All those leaves are falling off and they're dying. Then it leads into obsession. These people are getting obsessed. And then all of a sudden people start getting obsessed with going on these grounds. Leads to attachments and possession, which has happened. I actually know people who have quit their jobs and actually live on those grounds or did live on those grounds at one time.
Wow.
For whatever reason, there is an obsession with this land. And people get possessed in this land. So I actually don't like going there that often. I'll do small tours around the area at night because there are attachments. You'll hear voices of a girl calling, well, at least for me, "Hi, Neil, how's it going?"
Wow.
And you'll get the feelings of other people's characteristics. We actually, when we're on our buses at night, we came across so many things. Like one of the things that we came across when we're at the back end of Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, we came across in this certain areas, we turn out all the lights inside the bus. And I tell a person to take a picture of your boo buddy, the person who's closest to the window. Sometimes, and it happens every season, a face will show up in the window of someone else's face. And I'll receive the pictures. And actually, I meant to get you some more of those ones, but I don't think I sent you any of those. But there's also the land that surrounds it is actually the land that's the truly haunted part of the land. That video that I sent you is a small file. It's not even the complete file. And this was a one-time thing that happened. I noticed when we were using a thing called the Anahata Spirit Portal Box. It's a box that we built where we actually make direct contact with spirits. And we've had some very good success. We actually had a lady who had a full conversation with her dead mother-in-law.
Wow.
We had it out there, we're asking questions, and I started telling my buddy Steve, I go, doesn't it sound like they're talking backwards? Like a recording backwards? He goes, yeah. So we took it back. We took the recordings back and we put it in an Audacity system. I reversed the reverse, ran forward playing. And the answers that we got were very amazing. I call them mirror zones. And I also believe it's when the veil is thinnest in an area, in certain areas, you're going to get your best activity. And I think the best way to map out things like this is using a frequency emitter. If we use a frequency emitter and we place it out into the areas that we're doing, and we start mapping it out, because it's very broad. It's very broad. And we're able to map it out and find out where we get the best activity, either audio or visual.
Right.
Like we did with this audio, where a lot of things, what do? I get it by total coincidence. This is all by mistake. It just seems to happen. If you want to play that video, remember, this is even the complete file that I just am giving you. Okay. I have a complete file that goes over 3 to 4 minutes, and it's not that you cut it up or anything like that, like on Wondershare. This is a complete flow of what's going on.
Wow. Right after each other.
Yeah, so feel free to go ahead and play it if you wish.
Okay, I'm going to play it right now.
That's actually just a small thing. You'll hear things like Angel Michael, I had his train, because I wanted to send you the complete file today. But we had things like, hey, Neil. And when you listen to this full thing, and what I'll do is I'll share it with you. And if you guys want to put it up on your site later on, you guys can listen to the complete file.
Sure.
Your audience is going to be very amazed. And here's the thing is I tell people, check my work. Check Neil's work. Go on his YouTube channel and see if Neil's on BS. Feel free to. I tell everybody to check everybody's work. So it's called Direct Spirit Communication on Graveside Paranormal YouTube channel. And you are going to be very, very surprised at the things that come out of that. I'm going to send it to you later on today.
Okay.
Direct spirit communication. That was pretty remarkable. I mean, I could hear all of that. But I love that you do that. We do the same thing. Anthony will put, like, we get something, we'll put it on the show and be like, what do you guys think? You know, you think that's a bat, or do you think that's a, like, you know, we'll try to debunk it together. And we welcome people's opinions. I feel like I never get offended if somebody says something about my work. I want input.
Yeah, you definitely.
There could always be that person who figures out something that you were not paying attention to. Because I've had it happen where, like, hey, Neil, you might want to check this. And I go,
love
all right.
that.
Yeah, it's no problem.
We had that a couple times. You know, but look at the end of the hall. Like, we had this video for 3 years. There's something down there. Like,
Anthony's so good at it. He's really good at that.
When people are using just so you know, when people are using your spirit boxes and also your recording devices, what you're hearing is gibberish sometimes, like, oh my God, that was just a bunch of gibberish. Take it to Audacity and reverse it.
I've done it.
You're going to start hearing things.
I've reversed it, and I've had that happen only once, but I was like, what? I know this is a voice, but I can't make it out. And just for the heck of it, I reversed it, and there you go.
Yeah. Reversing is
can't explain it.
Yeah. I mean, years ago we didn't have the abilities, but now you have it now.
Yeah.
You know, back when I was a kid, we used to have to take the records and spin them backwards here.
Yeah.
You mean on the stone?
Yeah, the stone. We used to carve on the stone. Yeah. Matter of fact, a couple of my drawings are in some ice cave, you know, like
cave drawings. They're cave drawings.
Yeah, those cave drawings. The first spiritual arts.
Like French Leslie.
Yeah. You know, you'll see, you'll get to know us that we make fun of each other.
I live next door to Fred and Barney.
There you go. It's all in fun.
Oh, believe me, where I worked for 30 years, all we did is like being 30 years in high school. Everybody just makes fun of each other all day long.
Just bust on each other. That's what Anthony and I do the whole show.
Yeah. We stood on the job too. It was like all you did all day is break each other's chops.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you do.
All right. Well, can we say that again or no? Do we have time?
Yeah, sure.
Well, you want to
hear that again? Yeah, I'd like to hear it again. Yeah.
I don't want to play it for you.
Okay. It's all good. Different people. Like I was trying to make out the different people.
Yeah, and like I said, that's not even the complete file. And
Wow.
when you go on my boss site, I do the complete. What's that?
The pictures you sent me some pictures with shadows. Is any of these of that graveyard?
Yeah. Go ahead. No, it's not. It's a different graveyard. Go ahead, pull up any picture you want. I'll explain it.
We love a cemetery.
So this is called Archer Woods Cemetery. Okay.
Yeah.
This cemetery here, once again, 40, 50 people out into the night. And this picture was taken at night. This person here, for whatever reason, I don't know what they lighted their camera when they shot, but it was actually pitch dark when this picture was taken.
Mm-hmm.
And these two shadow people, if you zoom in, you're going to see are running neck to neck with each other, are running side by side. And this is taken as
I see. Like one's behind the other, sort of.
Yep,
like
they're running side by side with each other. So there's two of them there. It's known for a cemetery where there's a wailing lady, a crying lady at the entrance of the cemetery gate. The other one is the picture of possibly the shadow person of possibly maybe that girl. You're going to have one that's a shadow person in front of the gate.
Yeah, because this picture reminds me of like maybe a husband and wife or a man and a woman running together.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, unknown, but no matter what, great catch by this person.
That's awesome. Was that location like any kind of battles or anything happened there before it was this part of the cemetery?
So it's
those look like newer graves. That's what I'm saying.
So interesting that you asked that. No battlefields, no. What it was back in the 1920s, a lot of bodies that we had a gravedigger strike that went on for many years in the 1920s. And there's a lot of misplaced bodies throughout the Chicagoland area. Okay. Some of them never made it to the right burial place. So could this be that these are the souls? I don't know. This is one of the theories on it. Also, Native Americans. Could it also be Native Americans?
There you go.
Some kind of thing, or dimensional. I don't know. Because actually that area there is the area that I'm talking about that has the supernatural ley lines.
Oh, wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah.
I had a quick question about the ley lines. Anthony was talking about them, connecting or not connecting. But you sort of mentioned they're almost like a pump, like the way you said it.
A faucet.
Yeah, right. So, like almost like using an EM pump or like a Tesla coil or something like that, like to get things going. Is that what you think?
Yeah, I agree. And that's actually sounds very smart. But it has to deal with the environment. That's my theory. Through the right time of day, maybe the right month, maybe they have anniversary or something, maybe thunder, maybe lightning. I don't know.
Moon phase or something.
Moon phase, maybe. Like me and a buddy of mine named Larry Eisler, we were at a place called Jericho, Wisconsin, called the Trinity. This place here is probably the scariest place. And I'm not somebody who really gets scared too often. This place in Jericho, Wisconsin, when I tell you this, when Larry eventually comes out with this video of this, you guys are going to be like, oh my God. We went inside this place. A part of it is an old church. The other of it is a nunnery. The other part is a school. We did the Estes method. I was touching upon that the feeling of children were beat down in this one basement. And we did the Estes method. I stayed back. He stayed in the room. We were with a girl named Nikki. And the intelligent conversation we were having was unbelievable. Like I said, were you beaten down here? And all of a sudden, Larry says back, he's got everything on, right? He says, we were beaten. And we get into this nun who talked about her cancer and how she had throat cancer. And it was a conversation like you and I are having.
Wow.
And I swear to God, this is one of the craziest things I ever came across. We were down in the old church in the basement. It was 80 something degrees outside. Mm-hmm. We go down here, this buddy of mine, Mike and Jenny, we go down in this basement and you can see your breath. Ooh. Then all of a sudden all of our cameras, because I just bought us all new cameras. For whatever reason, they all went out. But luckily, Mike was carrying his iPhone and he was videotaping. What we're not seeing is this fog that is on the floor. And in the fog, and we have this video of these little shadow people running along. A whole group of these bastards are just running along. And we're all like, what the holy heck is that?
Little? Like how little?
Like this big.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I swear to God, I'm not making this stuff up.
No, I believe you.
I have never come across that type of place before in my life. It was unbelievable.
Could that been fairies?
I don't know what they were like little shadow people, man, like little imps.
I mean, you with the imps. I mean, like you started this whole conversation with the imp, and we have a friend who writes about fairies and other creatures, gnomes, imps, everything. And I'd be interested to hear what he thinks about that phenomenon. If I could show him that video.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't show anybody that video because he's going to be putting it out on a documentary.
No worries, but I could explain it.
Oh yeah, and we were just so lucky that Mike was doing a videotape at that time. It was
That's
crazy.
awesome.
I love when that happens.
And sometimes you get the best stuff on your phone. Tell you the truth.
Yep.
You never know.
When you don't have your equipment, you're like, oh, take out your phone. I got it now, and I got piano playing. All my equipment went out. It was like 4:00 in the morning. And we're in this location in Long Island. And we're inside, and we're doing a spirit box, and all of a sudden I hear ding, ding on the piano. I'm like,
cool.
Can anybody just touch the piano? The piano is actually locked. The cover for the piano
is
actually locked. Nobody could touch it, and there's nobody near the piano to do anything. And I got that on my phone because all my equipment went out. At a certain time, your batteries do run out. But it was interesting.
Yeah, that's a good catch. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I agree. The last few really good pictures I've seen have been iPhone pictures.
Yeah,
like astounding pictures. But I'd love to ask our friend about that. About the little.
So Anthony, go to the one other picture where the other shadow person is going out of the cemetery that I believe is possibly this crying lady at the entrance. Then we can talk
about here.
Lady.
Yeah. So you can see this shadow person floating out of the cemetery area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just right there. That's interesting.
And this is the same cemetery called Archer Wood Cemetery.
It's beautiful.
That's interesting.
And
how old is that cemetery? That cemetery is a couple hundred years old?
1800s?
Oh, yeah. Like I would say the late 1800s. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting.
And then there's one more picture that's up there of the nun.
Okay, I got two pictures here. Okay, I'm going to see because
give it a shot
on StreamYard. They gave me a picture like this big. I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I didn't know what to mark them, so I'm going to put this one up.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's the nun one.
So man.
So this was a daytime tour. And I do daytime tours, and large majority of my clientele are older people. And they don't know how to play with phones or any of that stuff. I was telling a murder story that happened and where these two young girls called the Grimes sisters were buried. And even in the daytime, I tell them take random photos. This lady took this random phone. She said, Neil, what is this? I said, that looks like a nun from back in the day of the old, the old habit that's on and the old habit that's wearing. And I said, she definitely has some weird dark eyes and she's gray. But that's actually from the original. And then what I did is on the other one, I brightened it up a little bit just to give a little more pop to it.
Right.
You're going to.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. So a lot of weird things happen in the Chicagoland area.
Great catch.
And it's funny because you saying, I went to Catholic school in the 60s, giving away my age. Yeah. And the nuns had that big the habit on. It came up and then went over. Then went in, like in the 70s, they stopped wearing the habit or the habit went smaller. It was just like, but the older nuns had the ones like that, what you were saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't know why I'm having the comments just like all came up at once for me. It was a little bit slow. But I don't know if Mary Beth's talking about this picture. She says there's a guy on the left. I love this when you do this kind of thing and people see it.
There could be. I mean, it's in a cemetery. It might be a regular.
Like this picture here?
Oh, you mean that guy on your left? If she's talking about this, that's a regular customer. That was a regular customer. Yeah.
Might be that. I don't know. Maybe the nun picture. Mary Beth, what are you talking about?
That's interesting. You know why? Because the person's right there and the spirit's right there, and they don't see it.
Yeah.
You know, that's interesting. And there's nothing to cast that shadow.
Not this one, she said. The other one. The nun one. Yeah, I'm just curious because I love when we put pictures. Yeah. She's seeing somebody with overall, or what does it say? Yeah, overalls or suspenders. Interesting. It's so tiny on the screen. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to see it.
It's pixelated too, so.
But
you can see
that nun face is like, ooh.
Yeah.
There she is.
And I said, how come she has a yardstick in her hand?
Yeah, just like, go around and hit some kids.
Anthony.
I mean, I used to get them across my knuckles all the time because I was a good kid.
You were a good kid.
I was a good kid. They don't like good kids.
Yeah.
So you have another. Well, you have this. We've seen this one, okay, and you got one more here. You want to? I'll bring it up.
Sure. Bring up whatever you want. Well, that's the one that I made it brighter for everyone.
Okay.
So
that's the nun
Tell us what we're looking at here. Oh, I see what we're looking at.
Yeah, that's the nun.
That way, it made it more distinct.
Well, I mean, gravestone is what, about 3 feet, about 4 feet tall, 4 feet tall. So she's like 5 foot something. This woman.
It looks about right. Yeah, exactly. Like proportion.
Yeah, because it's tombstones like 3 feet, 4 feet, depending on the tombstone. Those look like, and these are newer tombstones too. So, and everybody knows, and Jenny, I grew up around the cemeteries, 9 cemeteries when I was growing up. So we used to hang out in cemeteries. So I know tombstones.
Yep, he does. He's
the cemeteries are a big thing with us. We always like
these are great. I mean, these are amazing. Really.
H.H. Holmes was his place in Chicago?
Yeah. So his thing, what it is now, it's actually a post office, and it's down in the basement where the original was at. And they don't allow anybody to go inside there. It's a government post office. Yeah. And so that's where that was, on that corner there on the east side of Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Because I met his grandson. I had a previous podcast I was doing, and Jeff Mudgett.
Yes.
And I interviewed him and everything. He's a very nice guy. You got in Chicago, we get you into that post office because what happens is that post office, not the whole basement is, just portion of the basement is the original building of where they used to have, where he used to burn bodies.
Right.
That part is still there.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I mean, is that part of your tours or is that a different location?
I'm being totally honest with you. Why not? Because it's a horrible neighborhood.
Oh,
okay.
I try to keep everybody safe.
Right. And you have a lot of older clientele. You want to make sure.
Yeah. You got, you can go to John Wayne Gacy's house where he grew up in Chicago, which I've gone to. But some of these neighborhoods, even though that's a pretty decent neighborhood, but some of these neighborhoods are just unbelievably horrible. And you don't want to take the chance of somebody getting hurt.
No, of course. You got 50 people there, so you can't keep an eye on everybody.
Safety first, always.
Do you have anybody helping you on these tours, or just you?
It's usually just me and my wife. She runs. What I do is on my tours, I run videos, I run music. I'm a big believer. I'm not that guy who just goes, "Hey, this is where such and such was." I'm an entertainer. I make sure that everybody is entertained throughout 4.5 hours at night. I'm on point. Making sure that at the end of the day, I want to know that you feel secure knowing that you spent that money on coming on my tour.
Right. And everybody loves a ghost story, right? Like everybody loves a ghost story. Yeah. And it's a totally different thing than investigating. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
It's fun. I mean,
I love those
like
local
Chicago.
legends.
I mean, with the mob and everything, all the different people that got a little whacked.
Yeah, that
Right.
one building. Speaking of the mob, and one lady was asking about the mob and stuff like that.
Yes.
We had a thing that was called Division One. It was the original Chicago lockup, and this building was huge, man. It was made of limestone. The whole building was made of limestone, right? Wow. And that's where Al Capone was housed when he was young. He was locked in there. That place there, they knocked it down. I'll tell you a real story.
Yeah,
back in about the early 90s, we were all called for an all available at Division One. And we went there. It was a complete riot. And this young man, he was stabbed up in his neck and blood was flowing everywhere.
Oh, boy.
And 3 Hispanic guys, they shimmied his neck, this young black man's neck, and he died. This one officer went up to him to try to give him CPR because for whatever reason, he was blowing in his mouth. And every time he blew in his mouth, blood just kept coming out of his neck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
graphic.
Yeah.
Graphic
so
line.
what happened was sometime later, weeks, maybe months later, people started hearing a young man. The inmates started hearing a young man up in the hallway area making noises and looking down from them from the rafters and staring at them. And they were all freaking out. And this continued for a very long time inside this place called Division One.
Wow. So different inmates saw the same thing.
Oh, yeah. That whole place is haunted. That if I tried to do a documentary there and I was so close to getting it all signed and done, but I had one commissioner, 2 or 3 actually, who said, no, we can't do this. We can't do this.
Come on.
Yeah. So
that's too bad. But great story. I mean,
you've seen a lot of stuff going on there. And I know you've seen shadows and stuff. Have you seen anything else that's, you've seen possessions? You've seen a lot of stuff going on there.
So I do a thing in the first documented possession in America was in Watseka, Illinois, called the Watseka Wonder. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Okay.
No.
This happened back in 1865. Actually, it started in 1846 with a young girl by the name of Mary Roth.
Mm-hmm.
This young girl here, at about this age of 17, 18 years of age, she had very strong clairvoyant abilities where things were coming out, spirits were coming in and out of her all the time. She was mislabeled and placed in an institution. And at the time, institutions were at the beginning. And they were just learning how to understand the human mind, right? And psychiatry. These people who were put in these institutions, they were taken from cold tubs to hot tubs, from hot tubs to cold tubs, put in these small little cribs if they acted up. And when I say small little cribs, I mean small little cribs, and they locked them in there for days upon days in chairs. This girl here, she was mislabeled. And her parents put her away inside this institution, and she died at the age of about 18 years of age.
Oh, wow.
Fast forward 14 years of age in the same community, another girl by the name of Laurency Venom started having the same clairvoyant abilities in the same community. The father of our first girl, Mary Roth, he started noticing and hearing about this girl. Asa Roth, the father, reached out to the family of Laurency Venom and asked them because they were going to do the same thing. Please bring her over and have her meet my doctor that I'm going to bring over. There was a doctor by Dr. Winchester Stevens who was also a hypnotist. He brought over this girl, put her in a hypnotizer, and she was cycling through different spirits flowing in and out of her. This is called a walk-in. Some people call it possession, but this is actually called a walk-in. It doesn't mean when they use the word possession that it means demonic. Everybody uses the word because that's what was taught to them the moment the movie Exorcist came out.
Right.
So we have this young girl who's cycling through all these different spirits, and all of a sudden a young girl by the name of Mary Roth, our original girl, identifies herself. She identifies herself because she says, "This isn't my arm," because she was a cutter. To alleviate all the voices in her mind, she used to cut her arm. the time, alleviated.
Yes.
She would do a lot of bloodletting. A lot of people did. And she did that. And she also started playing the piano, which Lorenzi Venom did not do. She identified everybody inside the room and one of them as her father, Asa Roth.
Oh.
She told them that she will be staying inside this body for 100 days. And after the 100 days, Lorenzi Venom's spirit will come back from heaven and she will be healed and live a long life after that.
Okay.
100 days passed by, and Mary Roth, inside the body of Lorenzi Venom, came down the stairs of the Roth home and told everybody it was time for her to leave and that Lorenzi Venom would be coming back. This young girl then exited Lorenzi Venom's body, and the spirit of Lorenzi Venom then came back inside. Lorenzi Venom lived a long life. She lived in California after that, had many children.
That's wonderful.
I tell everybody, they call it the first documented possession in America, but it's actually a spiritual miracle that happened. The people who had this happen to them were all spiritualists. Back in that era, that middle of the 1800s, what was there? It was a large thing of spiritualism just starting up, right?
That's right, yeah, with the Fox sisters.
Yep.
Yeah. So I did a documentary called The Seance, and I had over 150 customers out there. I had Miss Diette Renee, a very good friend of mine. We did a seance on the grounds on the outside. And the raw emotions, I had to hold myself from crying sometimes. Even my cameraman had to stop himself from crying. What is actually funny, not funny, but it's very odd, is after we did that thing of that filming of that, I got an email from the people, the great-grandchildren of Lorenzi Venom, the girl who was possessed. And they told me that they'd like to come out there and meet me and come to the home because they just found out about the story 10 years ago. And they came out there, and we did a thing, the seance too, which we'll have out sometimes later, whatever, is that one of the girls looked exactly like Lorenzi Venom. But what's the weird thing? This is what's weird. One of the girls of the great-grandchildren of our second girl had a resemblance of Mary Roth, of our first girl. So I compared the pictures, and then I started thinking, when something like this, a walk-in happens, possession, can it change something cellular inside the body?
Right.
Or because it's a long possession, is it changing something cellular inside the body? Where somebody starts looking, where they're able to, the next generation takes a DNA. And the next generation after that. This lady here, her name's Dina. She has a strong resemblance to Mary Roth. And whereas the other grandchild looks just like Lorenzi Venom. It's so weird, the things that I've come across with doing these things. It's so weird.
I mean, I've heard of people taking photos of people who are in a state and they look completely different or look like someone else, like that they're channeling. Say you're doing a seance and you take a photo of me. Say I'm doing a seance. You take a photo of me and I look like the person I'm summoning. In other words, somebody walks into me.
I've heard that. I've never seen that. But
I haven't either.
But what I'm saying is that for whatever reason, either through time, DNA was still inside this girl, Lorenzi Venom. That I'm saying my theory is it changed up her cellular body.
Yep.
And something changed where she took on her great-grandchild took on a physical form of the same looks as our first girl, Mary Roth.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's interesting.
It is interesting.
That's
a great subject. We could talk about this all night.
Oh, yeah, man.
I've been with seances.
That's a rabbit hole right there.
The faces of the person that's doing the channeling, it changes, but it doesn't look like, I've seen it twice. And it's crazy because it doesn't appear to be the person, but it gets deformed. The face gets deformed because, with the camera, I got the video on it and everything. And just the face gets deformed. And, with a camera, if you move certain times, with a camera, something, you might get a, like a movement. Yeah. Just the face deformed, but the rest of the body stayed the same and all the background and people sitting next to them and everything. So that was crazy. That the face is deformed. Yeah, but that's interesting, and that's a good theory too. I mean, could it bring it that DNA from one to the other, and then because the DNA is there now down the generations, you're going to have somebody that looks like the past with the DNA. I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, and I'll send you the pictures when we're done here of these two ladies, and I compared them right next to the original girls. And you tell me if you think I'm right, if I think you got something there. We looked at this, and originally when these girls were introduced to my medium, she really believed that this one lady was in the beginning the ancestor of Mary Roth that I brought into the house.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I like that theory. Because that's the first time I ever heard that.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I'm a person that's open to anything with this because I've been doing such a long time, and I've seen so many people come out with theories that are so close to what I experienced. So something like that is a good theory with the DNA.
Yeah. I mean,
especially you have it on video. You know,
for sure.
That's very interesting. I like that. Really do.
And 14 years apart, you said, right? These girls?
Yeah, they're about 14 to 16 years apart.
That's amazing. So it's not even like a sympathetic thing. Like it's not like a conversion disorder where all the girls are doing this. You know what I mean? Like it's
just so weird that they had almost exactly the same type clairvoyant ability in the same community. This community, Watsika, I do a lot of events out there, and like me, Chris Fleming, Diet, and many other people, Pete, Chris. Right. We're all doing a thing out there on September 26th. I'm calling Watsika Beyond the Veil. I'm going to do a spiritual thing, talk about miracles and benevolence, 2 stories of miracles and 2 stories of benevolence. Chris is going to be talking about a haunting on Park Lane. Diet's going to be doing a gallery reading. So part of what I do is I make sure that we're out there and we're doing these events for a lot of people.
Sure. Sure.
That's you know,
very cool.
If you have you ever been on one of your tours and somebody got affected, that one of the guests got affected from a location that they went on?
Right.
You know, there's a lot of people going. Some of them are curious, and some of them actually have abilities. So, is anybody get affected?
So I'm going to tell you 2 stories if we have time.
Yes,
we got time.
It's your show. Go.
All right. So at that place called Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, like I told you, it's a very real place who are people who are sensitive and empathetic, who have clairvoyant abilities. So I always meditate before I go and I do these things, right? Because you have to, because I get sometimes sick the next day. Sure. Because you might walk into something that's really, really bad and you don't realize that this characteristic is there, and then you're taking it on. So I try to keep my defenses up the best I can. So I always do a meditation, which leads into my old man nap. So I fall right into my nap, right? And I'm dreaming, and this young man comes to me. His name's Christopher. He says, when you're at the back end of Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, please tell everybody I'm okay. And I saw him distinctly, his hat, his jacket, what he was wearing. I knew exactly what he was wearing. Wow. And he says, please tell everybody. They'll know who they are. I'm okay. And I go like this. I go, all right. So I wake up and I tell my wife what happened. I said, this is what happened today. I go, this young man is asking me to do this because I'm very concerned about looking batshit crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. And so I tell my wife, I said, should I say it or not? She goes, nope, you're gonna look batshit crazy, Neil. Don't do it.
Oh, I would have said it.
Yeah.
100%. I would have said it.
Well, I'm not done.
It's
not done yet. So what happened is we got there, and this is actually the first time this ever happened. This is some years back. All of a sudden, I'm doing the regular spiel of of what the stories are, right? All of a sudden, I get it right here, and he's saying, "Please tell them."
Come on.
I'm like this. I'm like, oh my god. So I said, I have to stop everything, and I said, there's a young man named Christopher here with me. this might be somebody that someone knows here. I go, he's wearing this such hat, he's wearing this jacket. He wants me to reach out and tell you everything's okay with him. He's fine. And all of a sudden I go, does that make any sense to anybody? And this guy raises his hand. He says, that's my cousin. He just died.
Oh.
He goes, he just died about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And what happens is when this happens, I don't know. I'm assuming, Jenny, you have things happen to you. I get that feeling like you have things happen to you.
No, you'd be wrong.
Really? Will I be wrong on that? All right. So,
I'm not as sensitive. I'm not anything. Like, I'm very like scientific. That's me. Like, no,
she does, but she doesn't admit it.
I know people like that who don't admit it, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is
that the paranormal closet.
Things happen to Anthony. Things happen to Anthony. I would say I'm very empathetic. You know, like I try to relate to people. You know,
right. So all of a sudden, I get all these strong emotions just hit me, man. And I had to excuse myself because I started crying. And I had to step back and try to control this person's emotions. And it's sometimes hard, but when you start doing it more and more, you start to recognize it, and you have to just excuse yourself so that you can just deal with the issue. And but the second story, when we go to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, and it's not the first time, people started getting pains in their eyes, like sharp pains, like somebody stabbing them in the eyes. And I've gotten that more than 2 or 3 times. And people have to call an Uber and they drive home.
Wow.
That place there is very real. And you start taking on other things, characteristics. And I'll just throw in this last story. I'll tell you this last story of Bachelor's Grove because we're on Bachelor's Grove.
Please.
So this is when I started really questioning what I do. You know, like, Neil, are you nuts? You shouldn't be doing these kind of things, dude. This is nuts, man. You're throwing yourself sometimes through these emotional roller coasters, and you're getting yourself sick. And why do this? So I did a thing at Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, a full thing in the daytime. And I worked midnights at the time. And I always take a nap before work. So I made sure I was in bed by at least 7 or 8 o'clock so I take a little nap. So I'm starting to try. It was a nice fall night. I had the window open. I remember this night. All of a sudden, I start getting this shake, this uncontrollable shake. And I feel it, and I can see it in my head. I can't see it with my eyes. But it came through the window. It went up on the ceiling, went across the ceiling and floated and went into a corner. And it was sitting there staring at me. And this shake was like nothing I ever had in my life. I mean, it was so uncontrollable. I don't know. Like, I'm a diabetic, so I know what the shake is. This is before I became a diabetic, okay? This is before I became a diabetic. So it's kind of like that where, like, your blood sugar is, like, really, really low.
Right. That happens to me.
Right.
You really shake. Yeah.
And you
not like a little
shaking. You start shaking and shivering, right? And I feel like this thing is just watching me. And I remember a guy telling me, he's a very faith-based person. He said, Neil, these things are going to happen to you, so I want you to keep in mind. And faith is one of the most important things, ladies and gentlemen, to have. And when you have it, you know you have it.
Right.
You have to project that energy and say, by the blood of Jesus Christ, you do not belong here. Go back from which you came. But it's not about just saying the words. You have to believe the words. Like I tell people, what is faith? I say, well, I want you just to close your eyes for a second. I want you to think about that one person you love the most, or that one moment in time, and how much love you had for that faith, for that moment in time, or with that person. And that emotional feeling that you felt, well, that's faith. It's the same thing that you can have, that you can project out into your environment, but you have to really believe what you're saying. And when I did that, this thing left. Every now and then I get a little shake to me during the day because I went to work. And I said, and that's when I really started thinking, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm going to quit doing what I'm doing. Like I said, I don't think I should be doing this stuff. So
that's scary. It's scary when it's affecting you like that.
Yeah.
I thought there's a really interesting comment from my friend Robert here, that he knew an empath whose eyes would darken at times, and I'm trying to go back to it, but I mean that's interesting.
Yeah.
You hear that when someone's getting affected, right? Like this happened to actually a friend of ours that I had to remove from a location because his eyes like got dark, and I was like, we're out of here. But that's interesting that like a physical manifestation of that, empath. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And when it happens, it happens. And I'm more now when I recognize these things, I can deal with them much better than I did in the beginning. I really can. And I have to, no matter what, I can't let my faith down. And I tell people, and and once again, I'm not Bible taught. I'm not telling you who to believe in, but no matter what, your audience has to believe in itself. That's first and foremost.
It doesn't matter what religion you are.
No, it's about
your
belief. It's about that strong belief. People ask all the time. They say to Anthony and me, they say, what do you do to protect yourself? And my answer is always a little bit weird compared to everybody else's. I don't do any rituals, sage, anything like that. But what I do is I try to live a good, clean, happy life.
And you're right.
Be a strong, confident, like happy person with good relationships, no negativity in my life. And I feel like that's enough.
Yeah.
Well, when they usually ask me what I use for protection, I usually say Trojan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but this is what I deal with. No, I'm kidding.
That's all good.
Exactly. I thought you were gonna say something else, but never mind. Can't say it. No, but I mean, I just feel like honestly, this is gonna sound weird, but even like eating well, just like sleeping, you're just getting like good care of your body and exercising and keeping your mind sharp and healthy. I feel like that's half of it. And also I don't believe anything's going to happen to me. I go in there, like you said, with the faith that I believe in myself.
And you know what? You're walking in there with the best defenses, being positive, and that's great. Right. That is totally great. Like every single time I go into a place, I actually go in there thinking that this whole place is going to be on bullshit. And with a positive attitude, though, all right, I'm walking in another place. There is a chance. But here's the thing. Here's the thing is you can go to a haunted location and nothing happens. It's all about the evidence. When you leave that and you start going through your evidence, that's when you start figuring out the place is something's going on in that place.
The quieter the place, the more you find later, I think.
Yeah.
Like that's always the way.
So Robert's asking, do you pray before you investigate? Yeah, I do pray before investigating. And I'm not going to lie to you, Robert. Sometimes I do forget. I do. But I always make sure because it's about positivity. And as long as you already know that you have that inside you, at any given moment that you are attacked on that type of a level or something like that, you already know that you can go to your defense.
Yeah, right. You already know
that, hey, man, and it's happened. I've had it where like things have come up and creeped up on you, and you feel that characteristic, that emotion running up on you. And I'll say things like, hey, dude, you don't belong here, man. You know you don't belong here. And that's wrong what you're doing.
That's right.
And it's just come to that point now where it's kind of nonchalant like that, where it's like, you're out of your realm, man. I go, just go back to where you came.
Yeah. I always say, because I say my prayer after investigations on the way home in the car or something, because sometimes I have people jump in the back seat on mine. But I always say, listen, this is not where you belong. This is where I belong. You have your place. I have mine. I said, you're not welcome to come to mine. You have to stay where you are.
Sure.
Most of the time that works, but sometimes,
sometimes he invites them in for pasta.
And Jenny always sends them home with me. She always says that.
No, it's so funny. He's like, he'll be on the couch watching TV and they come in. He's always got
I got things visiting me all the time,
He's like, hey, come down, have some popcorn.
And I always found that things will follow me home. I go and I welcome them. I said, sit down, join me. I watch TV, whatever. And they don't stay long then.
Right.
They don't stay long. I think they look for that negativity for them to actually give you that fear and stuff. Maybe they drive off the energy of scaring you, making all that energy. You don't give them that energy. Like, hey,
Yeah, they're definitely out
Right.
there because that's their goal. They feed off of that negativity, like we talked about in the beginning. Jails, institutions, prisons.
True.
That's how they live. That's why those places are infested with that, because they are living off of the negativity and the
That
fear.
makes sense. That
That's
makes
true.
sense.
I mean, the worst place I've ever been to was Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. That is one of the West Virginia Penitentiary.
Oh yeah, I think
Those
West
two
Virginia
places,
worse.
I always had the most activity, and I've been to a lot of different locations, you know, and those are the two of the locations I've been to that had most of the activity I actually caught, you know, and like you said, it's like the negativity of where you are and all that energy, because these these asylums back when they didn't try to cure you, they tried to experiment on you. So
Yeah.
they wanted to know what's going on, and
Yeah.
and they couldn't do it. They give you lobotomy. You know, that was the whole thing.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So
Well,
you know, all those places have a lot of negativity and stuff. And like I was telling Jenny the one time, it's like when you go into the place like a hospital or asylum or something, I try to keep. I just carry a camera and my things. I try to keep the equipment hidden, because I feel that if you go with all this equipment in your hand, you know, EMF meters or recorders or whatever,
yeah.
all these things with lights, all they know is things with lights. Back then, you should torture them,
Right.
so they won't interact.
Instruments. Exactly.
Yeah, there's certain instruments.
You know what? That makes complete sense, Anthony.
You know?
Actually, I never even thought about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they won't interact with you. But if you go in with your hands free, or like I have a camera, you know, or just a night vision, goes like everybody knows. I wear a body cam in the front and in back.
Several body cams. Yeah.
I got body
I
cam
just
in
wear one in
front
the
and
front.
back and everything. So I'll just go in and just talk to them and sit down and do an EVP session or something like that. Because, like I said, all those lights and buzzes and everything else, it's what they heard before they got tortured. So,
That's
or
such a good
experimented on whatever they did to them back then.
I love that. And I always think, like, I work a lot in houses from the 1700s, and I always think,
Really?
let
Wow.
me use something wooden, you know, not something metal or plastic, you know, like I have a box that's wooden, you know, instead of like a pod, you know,
Yeah.
that it looks more like a music box or a jewel box, you know, and that works. I get so much more activity on that.
The reason why, you know, is because that's that era. All right. So have you ever heard of a place called Whispers Estate?
Yes.
Okay.
Heard it,
So
yeah.
Whispers Estate, and I have a video out there of this, is I always, all right, especially it has children's spirits inside this house that died inside the house. Okay. And so my big thing is, because I'm really big about kids and I love kids. I love kids.
Yeah.
And I got my own. So
They're the best.
Yeah.
yeah. And I used to tell my kids stories at night. And you have to think of the era that you're investigating at. What time period was that? So what did these kids like back then? So what I did is I told the story of the Three Little Pigs. All children love in that era stories. So I told the story of the Three Little Pigs, and I explained to them, if you want me to tell another story, you just have to open up one of these doors for me, which has been known. And these are big, thick doors from the early 1800s. Wood is the original. And sure enough, after I get done doing the Three Little Pigs, and I say like this, I said, if you want to hear a story or another story like that, open up one of these doors for me. And sure enough, this door you hear the doorknob turn and it opens up. And then I had to go ahead and tell another story. And I did Jack and the Beanstalk after that. So
I love it.
Yeah.
I also use I bring wooden yo-yos and jacks, and I have a set of playing cards from the 1700s. They don't have they just have like a picture. They're very basic and simple, but I'll use those as triggers instead of, you know, something with bells and whistles or whatever, just like a wooden yo-yo.
I also brought on an investigation a couple times. I haven't done it lately, but I should bring it back. Morse code thing that you hit for Morse code, and it lights up. and only once it lit up at one location. It just lit up because it's way it's wired is it's wired to a battery, then to the light, and then
Right.
goes back to the. It's like a
That's
switch,
interesting.
and you hit it, and and I figured like places where military were,
Yes.
especially
Yes.
they need the back in the 20s, 30s, even during the Second World War II, and I think Korean War. I'm not sure about Vietnam, but they needed to know it. That's one of the things they needed to know.
If you could go into, all right, so find one, go to a place where those haunted submarines are back from World War I, right? Or World War II. And do that experiment in there. I think that's where you're going to get your best evidence. If all of a sudden you're able to get it where like there's vibrations clicking off the walls. Okay. If you could do it where it's not only where you're lighting it, but then you send a vibration through the wall. I think that's where you would probably get some interesting activity through the vibration of it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love this thinking. I love it.
Trigger objects, these people buy all this fancy equipment, which is fine. But I think trigger objects are very important to everything we do because it always brings something back to you. If it's not a child, we bring dolls. Or even marbles. Marbles was a big thing back.
I use marbles a lot.
You know what I mean? Marbles. Marbles or a ball or, something that back in the 20s, 1800s, 1700s, going back, they could relate to certain things.
Yeah.
Like certain toys. Jacks. They used to play jacks. Stuff that they don't do today. Yeah. They have done. So trigger objects is always a thing to go with. And I believe I'm a big believer in trigger objects.
Yeah.
And
but you have to think it through like that. But I love that submarine idea because it's actually going through the walls of it.
Yeah.
Like the vibration, you're really sending that Morse code through. I mean, I love that.
Yeah, because you got to remember, you're in water.
Love it.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like I said, I had to go off once, and but I wasn't sure. It wasn't a short or anything because I wired it. Hey, I know how to wire it. Yeah. So it was fine, but the light just came on a little bit and then one came off, and I think, oh, that's cool. And of course the camera wasn't on it at the time. So I didn't get it on camera, but it was
cool though.
It's just lit up.
Yeah, but you have to think about your surroundings, like you said, Anthony. Like think about like where you are and what area you're dealing with.
Yeah,
and
I'm always big because I with knowing surroundings also, what kind of equipment to bring.
Right.
What I mean? Because we all have all this equipment, and you don't need all that equipment in all these different locations. Certain locations, outdoor locations is different than an indoor location. Indoor location where that's actually people out, you bring different equipment. Abandoned places, you bring certain equipment. Everything is a different type of equipment to bring to it.
Right.
You don't need.
That's where you have to do your research on that, and then you get that feeling of, all right, this is maybe what I should be bringing. And in the beginning, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I didn't believe in a lot of this equipment. I really didn't. My buddy was making all these different spirit boxes, and I said, oh, this is BS. This is BS.
Yeah, right.
And I said, this is just this is random. This is just random stuff, right? But then he built this box called the Anahata, and it started getting answers. I mean,
it sounds so good. It really does.
When you start getting those intelligent answers to those questions, now weird stuff is going on. Like I was a total disbeliever in a lot of the equipment. I really was. The only equipment I really think that really works the best is just regular recording devices.
Yes.
I think that's your go-to.
That's my thing. That's my jam.
Yeah, I mean, if you all of a sudden just something that
I was like, say recorders, say digital recorder.
Yeah,
okay.
Recorders. I mean, that's your go-to.
Of course.
I mean, like that. But I'm a camera person, so my EVPs are on the camera.
So we're a good team.
What I like with the camera is that sometimes you could debunk something like somebody be whispering, or
you
you
get
see
both.
somebody walk. You get debunk because you can see it,
Yeah.
which I
You
have
get
done in
both.
the past.
Like
you get
I wear a body
like,
camera.
oh, I got something, and then you do the video like, this one just
Right.
whispered to that one,
Right.
So
Because you
that's
double
why I
check
like
your
my
work.
cameras. Yeah.
I just want to bring something up real quick in the comments because I think it's really special. We were talking about protecting ourselves. We didn't talk about this. Mary Beth said she relies on her friends and family on the other side to protect her. I love that.
Yeah, my mother protects me.
You know
Also,
what,
stay a woman with a wooden
that-
spoon. Nobody's gonna mess my mama.
Yeah. Well, that's what we were talking about. Faith. It's part of your faith is your family makeup. Like I said, close your eyes and talk about that person you truly loved in life, and that person, that love, and when you're missing them or they passed, and you reflect upon that moment in time that was such a strong thing. That's your faith,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you have that, nothing can conquer you.
No.
So true. So true. All right. I'm going to get in trouble if I don't ask Kim's question. Kim has a question for every guest, and she's obviously working with the horses. She's a vet, and she works with the horses at the racetrack during the summer. So she takes a little hiatus, but she likes me to ask her question for her. And you may have already answered it with the cemetery, but I'll give you a chance. What place calls to you over and over in all the places you've investigating? We all have one that calls to us.
So, like, take for instance, it's the Roth House.
Okay, so tell us about that
I just went
place.
there the other day because the owner of the house invited me and my wife out there for lunch.
Okay,
and I don't know why, and I really believe that a lot of people are like this, where maybe there was different timelines in our lives, and the reincarnation idea, right? And some of us believe it, some of us don't, and I think there's something to it. But that place there, the Roth House, I love driving out there like we did the other day, driving through the country. And when I get there, I always feel like I'm at home. So there is definitely a female spirit out there, because every now and then I'll get this disembodied voice of this lady in the house saying, "Hi, how are you?" And it's really, really weird, man. And that place there, to answer the question, is the Roth House. That's the one. It's definitely not Bachelor's Grove.
Okay. No, I think everyone has one.
Mary Beth.
Yeah, Mary Beth.
Cannoli.
Okay, cannoli.
Cannoli. Right.
We have a drinking game on this show. Every time you say cannoli, you drink, and everybody's like, "My cup is full.
My cup's still full."
Cannoli.
I'll take a drink for you.
It's like a hydration break in soccer. We do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a drinking game. We just made it up.
Also, Jenny didn't ask her question. What's the question, Jenny? Snack?
Okay, get ready, because this is a really serious question.
Yeah, because we're getting to the 2-hour mark.
I know, because as you can see, I have like gummy bears and everything in my hand that I keep here. What is your go-to snack on an investigation?
I try not to really eat that much at all when I do it. But I think every ghost hunter's thing is just pizza.
Yeah, pizza for sure. That's pizza, like a ritual, right?
It's actually probably some apple juice, because I personally get drained in places, and that apple juice, because I get a false negative feeling where you feel like your sugar drops. And people don't realize that, but when you're getting attachments and stuff, it's going to give a false flag feeling of like your sugar dropping. And and then when you all of a sudden go to check your blood sugars, you're going to see your blood sugars are fine, but it gives that feeling that your sugars have dropped. So I always have like an apple juice.
You feel like lightheaded? Or?
Definitely, if you get all that activity and all, it also dries your mouth, because it actually absorbs the water and in your body, because your water is part of your energy. And when you get a little bit of something coming to you and you're reading, or you're getting their feelings, your body, they're using your energy.
You get dehydrated, you're saying?
They will
I
dry.
think you've been drinking.
You will get dry. You could get dehydrated if they do it enough.
Okay. So. All right. It's a theory.
Well,
yeah, the most popular answer.
Experience,
I believe what you say. You know I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Everything you say, I believe. The most popular answer, if you are wondering, has been peanut M&Ms. And
that
beef
makes
jerky.
sense. I do love peanut M. I like M&Ms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
beef jerky is a huge thing too. I'm a vegetarian. Everybody makes fun of me. You heard that at the beginning. But
she just goes on the grass outside the
I
place.
just go out and eat the grass, he says. Like, yeah,
We tell the places don't mow the lawn because Jenny's coming.
Sure.
And she'll be hungry.
With friends like this. No.
Who needs
He
enemies?
just makes fun of me.
I'm sitting there eating a beef jerky and she's eating the grass, the lawn. So.
No, he's right. But yeah, a lot of people say beef jerky, and our co-host Kim, who is an incredible location medium and sensitive, she, after an investigation, wants like protein, like that meat. She eats like beef jerky and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, try some tofu.
No,
Not the same.
Food.
no,
Not the
thank you.
same.
Yeah,
Love
not the
tofu.
same. Not the same.
Tofu
Everybody's laughing at me. They're all
replace
shaking their
everything
heads. I know, but that is my serious question to everybody at the end of the show, because I think it's a fun way to end it, asking everybody what they like to eat on investigations. But pizza is a great answer too, and everybody says they go for pizza first too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pizza. Well, pizza. I live on pizza, so
Yeah.
I got
Yes,
sauce
so
for
good.
blood. I got
Me too.
pizza sauce for blood. Yeah,
It's so good.
that's what we have
It's so
over
good.
here all the time. So,
When I'm not great, we have good pizza, and you have different pizza in Chicago.
Yeah,
we got the deep dish. We got, which I particularly like. I like all pizza. It's just the deep dish. I go to this place called Nancy's, and oh my god, it's so good. And Anthony, if you ever come out here, buddy, I'm taking you for some deep dish, brother.
Yeah. What's
I
a zebra cake?
definitely want to try it because I hear so much about it. We got to see who's better.
Who is better?
Who's better, New York or Chicago when it comes to pizza?
Italians
Hey,
versus are you Irish? Or are you
Yeah,
Scottish?
I'm Irish.
Okay. Yeah,
you
it's gonna
can't
be
guess
the
what I
Italians
am, man.
versus the Irish. I love it. I love it. This is great. I mean, that would be fun. Really would be fun.
Yeah, if ever you guys come out here, just all you gotta do is just in the month of October, just call me. You guys got 2 free tickets. You guys got 2 free tickets.
Yay!
Oh, awesome. I mean, well, you'll definitely be on the show again, so we'll invite you back.
100%. You have a million more stories too, and your pictures were incredible, and those shadow figures were amazing.
Yeah,
like you're lucky if you get one good shadow figure picture in your career, at doing this, and those were fantastic. And by the way, I am a graduate of Rutgers University. Go Bears, Kyle Monungai.
There, hey, there you go.
See?
There you go.
Yeah. Jenny's cool.
Oh, that's nice.
He's like,
That's nice.
Yeah, Jenny's cool.
At least he got both my references tonight. That's good. Yes, Rutgers. Go Rutgers. So.
Yeah, Rutgers. So the show's coming to an end. We're going to definitely have you back.
Oh, it's so fast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The show, we have to go on another show right after this. So we're not going to get a chance to really sit
We're
back
very famous. What can we say?
Yeah, I know. It's like we can't get a break here.
It's so obnoxious. I'm sorry. We have to be on a show. That's rare, but we have to. So
yeah, well, we're doing it for they couldn't find they didn't have.
Yeah, they had their guests canceled, so we're doing a favor.
So
you got to help each other out. So
because we know how it is when people last minute can't cancel. You had it showing yourself.
Yeah,
so
they don't know what they're in for. That's all I can say.
So I want to thank you for coming. Those stories were awesome. You definitely
amazing
be back.
show.
You'll definitely be back. I want to thank the audience for participating. We had a lot of questions tonight. A lot of
new
good
people
and everything.
We had
I just want to
questions.
thank everybody. And I just want to tell everybody, when you're out there when you're out there, you got to be safe because you want to look for ghosts. You don't want to be a ghost. Hey.
Oh yeah. Okay. Hang on. What's his channel?
Oh, the channel.
My channel is, if you go on Facebook, it's Graveside, GRAVESIDE Paranormal.
Okay.
And I also have gravesideparanormal.com, Graveside Paranormal on YouTube. I guess I got some other things that my daughter puts me on that I don't even know about. But it's always Graveside Paranormal.
Okay.
You'll always notice
wanted to
the
check.
big red
All right.
hand. The big red hand. You'll see the big red
Big red
hand.
hand. No, that's
Big
helpful.
red hand.
Okay. Sorry to cut you off,
Yes,
Anthony.
we're gonna have him again. So
Yep. Okay.
well,
Thank
you
you
just cut
so
off
much.
my whole ending. Hey, I got to do it again now, or what?
Yep. We got a new friend.
Yeah, we got a new friend, and we're looking to get to Chicago, and we're looking to have you back.
Yeah.
So, just like I said, thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank the
Thank you.
audience. And now I can say
Thank
goodnight
you.
because I said my thing. Okay.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Bye, everybody.
I'll see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, how you doing?